All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode on the 44 Pod with your host, Mr. Rigoat himself, and Mr. AKA Herney, because he stays fucking Herney, baby. And
Eight.
it's a great week for me. Just Thursday night football. I got to see my Niners fucking surprise the fuck out of me and win that ball game yesterday. But before we get into that, we had some breaking news today. Fucking Diddy just got sentenced to 4 years. I think like 5 months, 17 months or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like basically what'll happen is like I think it was around 4 years, but he's already been in jail for a year, so it's really gonna be like 3.
Yeah.
Really, it's actually really interesting. Like the whole case itself. Like obviously we have an idea of what he's done. Obviously he's a piece of shit for it, but it's really interesting how like the feds like really like they've kind of reaching on how they got him into the situation in the first place using the Mann Act, which is like basically like the one of the original laws on prostitution.
Yeah.
And it's just really like kind of ticky tacky how they did it. But hey, that's the feds, man. They'll get you anyway, which way. So you got to be on your P's and
Yeah.
Q's and
Hey man, they're not fucking around, bro.
no, like I mean he didn't get any no RICO charges or anything really serious, which I mean it was gonna be hard to kind of prove
Surprising.
that. Well, I mean, it's like what they got him for. Like to me, they had no way to kind of connect the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, it's just kind of crazy. Like, I mean, fucking the
Yeah,
diddler, man, the baby oil, it'll do
hey,
it to
when
you.
you got money and you don't really give a fuck about that time in your life, I guess. You feel like you can get
Yeah,
away with shit. So one day or another, man, that's just gonna come out. And nowadays, like, fuck, everyone's trying to
dude.
sue somebody for something.
Yeah,
So fuck.
absolutely. Yeah, when I obviously we saw the breaking news earlier today, and I was like, all right, let me kind of like just look into it, make sure like I know what I'm talking about. So I kind of hate that when you
Yeah.
listen to a show and you can tell like guy has no idea what he's talking about. And,
Yeah.
like they had the not caricatures, but they got the drawings. So obviously there's no
Yeah.
like actual recording allowed for this case. Like he's full on like white hair, white beard, and he looks disheveled.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's fucking
which I mean,
rough.
yeah, like people are seen a couple people say like borderline unrecognizable. It's kind of like, well, no shit. Like guy was trying to portray like he's 30 years old for 10 years, and he was
Mm-hmm.
40 plus. So kind of just brings him back down to earth a little bit. And then, like he's got his whole family went to bat for him today about the sentencing with the judge. Like prosecution is looking to put him for 11 years. That would have been crazy. 11 years is
Yeah, I
nuts.
did see that. I think
And I think,
also I saw like they got mad because I guess he like set up some speaking uh
yeah,
arrangements or some shit like that, and then I think that's what really like set them off, was like, hey bro, fuck that, like we need to hit him with some years and shit. So I mean,
yeah.
the boy thought he was gonna get away with it, and he fucked himself at the end of it.
Well, it's like one of those things where like, you got caught. So you like, oh, I'm going to start, I'm going to go feed the homeless and shit. Like, it's like, dude, like you can't change your image now. Like what you did
Yeah,
what you did,
100%.
you know? So
Yeah. But yeah, to keep on like a little bit of hip hop music sort of stuff.
yeah,
I don't know if people keep up with like Trippie Redd and Coil Ray and stuff like that. But she was pregnant. Obviously, she's had her kid now. But it was
yeah,
alleged. Well, not alleged, but it was said that she was having a baby with Trippie Redd. Turns out
yeah.
Trippie Redd is not the dad. He had a DNA test when the kid was born, and it wasn't his. So
Shout out.
um, I don't. Yeah. So I personally don't have any kids. So like I guess he, they made that public statement. He looked pretty happy, be like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a kid and whatnot." But like now that shit kind of sucks because like again, I don't have kids, so I don't know what that feeling is. Like, oh shit, I'm about to be a dad, and then last minute,
Yeah.
be like, yeah, that kid's not fucking yours, bro. So for 9 months, you were just telling the world and having all your buddies and close friends like, "Hey man, like this is my baby mom's right here," and then next thing you know it, like she was fucking somebody else, and now the kid's not yours.
Yeah.
So
Like
that
let me
fucking
ask you
sucks.
something. Let me ask you something. Like, so you think, and obviously I'm same boat as you. I don't have any kids or anything like that. Um, but you think like obviously for someone like us, an average Joe, that we would be all like for the most part, I think we'd be all on board. Like, hey, like I'm about to be a dad. Like, kind of hyped about it, you know. Do you
Yeah.
think like because he's a celebrity, you think he like? Do you think part of him was kind of like I better just act like whether or not he was happy about it? You think he was just kind of like, hey, I better just put on like a good act, or do you think he like genuinely was?
I
I feel
don't
like
know.
it's a little bit different coming from a celebrity because I feel like obviously they got PR teams and they got people around them like, hey, we got to keep appearances up because I mean I don't know, as I feel like there are some artists I'd be like, oh fuck that, it's not my kid, like off rip, but
Yeah, I think I agree, but I think for the most part, right? Like,
I
there's
think he
obviously
seemed like he
certain like
was. I thought, yeah, as I
genuinely
say, I
happy.
think he
I
thought it was his.
Yeah, I think so. Just because, like, I mean, there's definitely those artists out there that obviously by their music and by the way they are to the public and stuff like that are
Yeah,
like real assholes. And Trippie Redd obviously seems to be like that. Oh, I'm too fucking cool.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
like all his music bullshit, but like to come out like that, like I was like, oh shit, like he seems
yeah,
genuine. I
yeah,
haven't heard anything since he found out that wasn't his kid. So, uh, but he's probably making an album about it and shit. So, but Coyle Ray,
yeah.
hey man, look, again, speaking with the hip hop shit, she just dropped a song with fucking Shoreline Mafia. If you guys have not fucking heard that song yet,
Banger.
yo, shit's a fucking banger. And there's a lot of haters like they're like, that cancel culture was like, yo, we don't want to fuck with Coyle Ray. Same thing with like the Russ shit, like, hey, we don't listen to him because he makes music like this or whatever. Um, so
Crazy.
Coyle Ray definitely had that fucking thing, but dude, she makes great fucking music. So if you don't like her because you want to be a part of that cancel culture, like you're fucking retarded.
Yeah, we gotta all agree. As humans, we gotta stop with the cancel culture stuff because that
Yeah, I
that
think
just
that
turns into
shit's so stupid.
soft people, and like we see it every day.
Yeah, because behind closed doors, when you're not around anybody and it's just you, you're secretly slapping music, or you're secretly eating at that place, or you're
Yeah,
secretly watching this and stuff like that. And it's just like,
yeah,
why? Just to fit in with
yeah.
other
It's
people and shit like that.
like we gotta, our get like, the guy that always comes on, Matty Ice. That's like prime example. Like I remember the Chick-fil-A. What's so funny?
No, I want to hear where you go with this.
Uh, no, make me laugh. No, I just remember when the Chick-fil-A stuff came out, and like we all know who they're supporting, and he was one of the first guys. Like, hey, like he's all out on Chick-fil-A. He said, "Fuck Chick-fil-A, ain't going." And then they opened one in his city, and motherfuckers there getting a fucking chicken sandwich, nuggets, like full go. And to me, it's like if you're gonna take a stand, like you got to stand for something. You're gonna fall for anything, and if you're gonna take that stand, you gotta. It's gotta be 10 toes down all the way through. Like you can't be
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna change up. Can't do it. Can't have that.
yeah, motherfuckers be getting soft, bro. That's what I'm saying. That council culture, man, it can only go so long and so far for certain people, because
We gotta
um,
stop empowering it.
yeah, I don't like it,
Yeah,
but
I feel that.
people are gonna do the thing.
Oh,
Speaking about the devil,
speak of the devil. Isn't that funny?
yeah,
What's up, Matt? What we got?
Back
Mike
a
we
week. I
MJ?
can.
say nothing but
MJ
good
Just
straight?
talking
things.
about you.
Second goat.
Oh, Brown.
Just talking about you.
What'd you say?
Yes, that's actually a really funny coincidence. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about the cancel culture vultures, and we got to stop that. We got to put an end to that. So
What's that got
But
to do with me?
uh, Hern,
Am I
go ahead.
canceled?
No, no.
nah. I mean, you could be. We.
Hey, just to
I'm
keep it
sure
short,
if
because
we.
we already
If,
explained it.
yeah, I was just talking about like your stance with Chick-fil-A, and then you kind of flip flopped on it, but it's all good. Like we fuck with you, and we just gotta keep that thing rolling. So um,
No.
But Matt, how was what you been up to, man? How was your week this week so far? Because
Yeah. Are you drunk?
Hearn's having a rough week so far.
Rough week.
You drunk?
Good, man. Working. Yeah.
Sound
Did you
like
take
it.
a shot? Take a titty shot or what?
You never even took one from the
Yeah,
game when we were
I
playing.
definitely did.
After? Nah. When we were playing, I sent
Oh,
one.
I
You didn't
told
send
you I
one
was
back.
gonna take a shot if we won. We never won the game. We just fucking
Man, you knew
lost.
we weren't gonna win.
Hey,
It's
man.
crazy. No.
Well, speaking of real quick,
Yeah.
speaking of winning the game, obviously Thursday night, last night, we had Niners Rams, and uh, the founder of the show decided that, hey, Niners win. I'm getting a Niner tattoo, and the Niners fucking did it. They won. Rigo,
Yeah.
we got to talk about it, man.
So yeah, we all had a vote on who was gonna win the game Thursday night yesterday.
We all said the Rams
I
are going to win, by the way.
yes, we all said
Yeah.
the Rams because the Niners are depleted. I mean, for numerous reasons, and I was like, for somehow, some way, the Niners pull this off, I'll get a Niner tattoo. Now the problem is, where do I get
Ugly
it?
ass logo.
I
All right,
have a
all right.
question.
What's up, Hearn?
Because you guys are always hurt, are you going to do the Niner handicap logo, or is it going to be like the actual? And then I have a
I don't
second
know.
question once you answer that.
Fern came with the jokes
All right,
today.
what's the second question?
Second question would be like, would it be the actual SF logo, or are we going to get like the gangster script 49ers written out, like the end zone?
We're gonna do the original logo.
Okay. Colored or
Got it.
black and white,
No color,
or
black and white.
black and
No,
brown?
yeah, I don't do no color
Yeah.
tattoos.
You get on your
All
neck, I
right.
do.
Anything. I'm probably gonna get it on my leg somewhere. So, um,
All
it's
right.
definitely where I'll probably get it from.
And it has to be done
But
by the
yeah,
end of the year. He specifically said by the end of the
yeah.
year. So this will be really interesting because I have a suggestion as well. Because where your next stop is, maybe you can get it like branded on, like you ever seen them when they freeze it, like dry ice, brand that shit on. It'd be kind of fire too.
Karen got the jokes today that he's coming with.
I like that
Uh,
idea though.
I
Navy.
think it's kind
Sounds
of
like
cool.
it.
Like
Honest.
it's like yellow. It's
I don't
like
know
that
about that.
Yellowstone type shit. That'd be kind
Nah,
of sick.
that shit sounds like it fucking hurts. I'm not doing that. But
You're
anyways,
you're a
right?
pain tolerant guy.
No, no. But what was your reactions of the game that you guys? I don't know if you guys seen the full game or not. But if you had and you did, what was your reactions?
I was surprised right from the jump.
They came out
14
swinging,
0.
huh?
Uh, Rams just looked slow, but I knew they would pick it up.
I feel, yeah,
Well, the questionable play calling in the end. Um, I don't agree with what the Rams did, but bit them in the ass.
yeah. I
Fucked up our
think
parlay.
watching them come out, I think it shocked McVay. I don't think he was ready for what the Niners were like gonna come out to do. Obviously, that's why they were up 14-0 in the beginning. But then again, like McVay is as a coach, he's very he's pretty quick in adjusting with his offense and his defense. His defensive coordinator. So obviously that's why the game was super close towards the end. Um, yeah, I would say on that 4th and 1, I agree with him going for it, but the play call was I don't think it was the best play call he could have came up with, especially when you call a timeout right before that, and that's what you come up with, run it up in the middle where everyone's going to be. Um, but I would have went for a 4th and 1 too to win the game. So
No, yeah,
um,
4th and 1, but you don't run it. I wouldn't run it 4th and 1 on the game on the line. The whole drive
yeah,
they didn't run the ball once, but they want to do it on the last play of the game.
hey, that's why they fucking lost.
Yep.
But Aaron, what'd you think?
I mean, I was a little preoccupied with some stuff going on, but from what I did see, I think the Niners kind of knew, hey, Mac Jones is not 100%. We need to start out hot, kind of build a lead and
Yeah,
hold on to it as long as they could. And obviously, they started off really hot. And then as far as like the overtime kind of went, I saw some people were kind of making jokes about how like obviously the Rams won the toss, and people were making jokes that the Niners were going to start on offense no matter what. I thought that was pretty funny. Uh,
Yeah.
and if you don't know the joke's from the Super Bowl a couple years ago, when Fred Warner had no idea about the rules. But
Hmm.
that aside, I'm kind of people are kind of blaming the overtime rule, which we got to stop. Like at some point, it's not the rule's fault. I was with McVay. I think you should go for it 4th and 1. I'm with Rigo. I think the play call is wrong, or at least the formation. Like it looked like it was just kind of like we had everybody in the box. So there was no threat of Puka Nakua, who's probably arguably top 3 receiver in the league. Could you argue the best
I'd
receiver in the
say.
league at this moment?
Yeah. I
Right.
agree.
So I mean, there was no threat of him getting the ball, and in those kind of big situations, you don't really think about. Well, most coaches think you don't think about plays, think about players, and putting him inside, you knew okay, he's not getting the ball. Um, but
Yeah, I feel like on top of that too, right? Just keep it short. Devontae Adams, I feel like he wasn't utilized as much as he should have been. At least, I mean, they didn't start heating up towards like literally the end, and
yeah,
he wasn't really a big factor in that game. I think when they started picking it up, it was just Puka Nakua, and Devontae Adams is really more of a distraction, which is really
what,
surprising to me. Shout out to
Jesus,
Matt and his doggy,
Right, dogs out here.
but
and so
You got a
I
fucking
was gonna
beast
they
right
ask,
there.
uh, was there a lot of time left in overtime when like on the last play or no?
Yeah, there
Bro,
was 3 minutes. They
well,
had
they
like
had
3 minutes and
How
two
much time?
timeouts.
they had 5 minutes
3.
to begin their drive,
Yeah, 5 minutes to begin the drive.
but they were like hurry up offense for whatever reason.
Well, because I do think like if he does kick well, and that's the other thing too is like you got to think about it from his perspective. He kicked the field goal early in the game and it got blocked, and they already lost the game earlier in the year because of a blocked field goal. So I think that kind of I don't think you trust the special teams unit either, because it wasn't like a chip shot field goal. Still, had to be 30 something yards at least, maybe even 40. So that's probably
Yeah,
played into his decision too. Like, hey, like even if he does kick it, Niners get the ball back, and it seems like near the end of the game, the Niners kind of found their groove again. I don't know if the Rams D would have made the stop. So
yeah.
then you end up in a
I think
tie. But
I think the game was pretty good overall. Honestly, it was a lot more interesting
yeah,
than I expected. So I love games like that, especially when I had the Rams winning. My Niners surprised the shit out of me and was like, oh, especially Mac Jones, Mackie 10. He was hurt.
Looking
yep.
good.
He got hit quite a bit of fucking time. Well, about 2 times he got hit, and obviously he was coughing up blood and shit. So shout out to him
Uh,
for fucking finishing that game and ultimately getting the win for us. So shout out to him. Uh,
yeah, I saw a
so
clip right before the pod of like it was I guess he was down a little bit longer than someone should be, and they like switched over to Adrian Martinez, and then they go back to Mac Jones, and he's getting up, and then like you see Adrian Martinez kind of like, oh, thank God. So kind of tells you the state
yeah,
of the Niners quarterback room. He's kind of like, oh fuck.
dude, we're hurting for scoring every fucking game, bro.
I had no
So
idea
it's
you
rough.
guys had Adrian Martinez. That's crazy. Shout out to Adrian Martinez, Nebraska legend, and I think was last year at Kansas State. But shout out to him.
All right, well, it's enough about the Niners and fucking the Rams. Let's
Love it.
get straight into our picks of the weeks, right?
Let's do it.
So first we're gonna do is just get straight into it, who we pick, and then
Yep.
we'll revisit it depending on the most interesting games and why we picked those. All right. So I'll start
Yeah.
with you,
Let's do it.
Matt. Vikings and Browns. What do you got?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Rigo's team instead of Browns.
Yo, you already know I
I'm
was
going
gonna do that,
Browns.
man. Brown. I got Browns too. Ernie, what you got?
I got Browns too, baby. Let's go. We
Yo,
gotta
baby.
we gotta circle the wagons, baby.
I got the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit
I will
Browns.
say, the matches.
Browns.
I don't want to like stay too because this isn't really that
Browns.
interesting of a game, but it is Dylan Gabriel's first start, so that does kind of play into the team. But I'm a big believer of the Browns D. After week
Hey,
one,
look.
I was bought in, so shout out to Rigo for that. But
Hey, some of
yeah,
you fuckers called me retarded and whatever the fuck y'all want to, but I'm like Dan Orlovsky over here, man. I'm 2 years ahead of the game, all right? So
Well, I mean, they're
calling what I
still
see it.
ass.
Hey, look,
yeah.
football.
The
Hey, it's still
Vikings
in the
just
beginning of the
are.
season. Still a lot of football left. But all
I
right.
don't know if I'd
So
want to be Dan Orlovsky, but for sure.
yeah, probably not. All right, so
Yeah.
Cowboys and Jets.
Cowboys.
Cowboys. Ooh, Ernie, what do you got? Because I don't know about this one. It's gonna take me a little minute to think about.
Uh,
Because Justin Fields back, right?
He was
yeah.
back last week.
Justin Fields. Dak is playing some really good fucking football. So I got the Cowboys. As much as I want to pick the Jets, I got the Cowboys.
All
Gotta
right.
go Cowboys.
I'll
Ernie, what do you
go
got?
just for fun of it. I'll go the Jets, but Aaron Glenn's seat to me is getting a little warmer. I
Think
know it's
so?
year one,
Okay, we'll
but
talk about
yeah,
it. Yeah, we'll talk
yeah,
about
we
it.
we keep going.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Giants and Saints. Herndon, you go first.
Giants. Shout out Jackson Dart.
I got Giants too.
G-Man.
Yeah.
Even without
All right.
neighbors, I just think the Saints are that bad.
Spencer Rattler's kind of putting
I
them
need
together. It's
Spencer to
just
go off on fantasy for me.
yeah, I'll give you Jackson Dart, baby. I got him in fantasy.
Go Gino, dog.
Giants.
Okay. Next one is your guys' favorite team, the fucking Raiders and Colts, baby. Herm, who do you
Back it up.
got?
Colts.
Daniel Jones, baby.
Colts.
Daniel Jones.
Colts. Indiana
Hey, I'm
Jones,
picking
baby.
Colts. Colts,
Back it
baby.
up.
Yep.
Next.
Indiana
All
Jones.
right.
That question should be how many picks is Gino throwing this game?
3.
All right.
I'm gonna say 2.
All right. Next one, we got Dolphins and Panthers. Here you go, buddy. Let's go down. Fuck. Matt, who do you got? Dolphins and Panthers.
Dolphins.
Ooh, all
It's
right.
interesting. It's interesting.
Dolphins.
Okay. Heard?
I'm gonna go Panthers. No Tyreek, no points. So go Panthers.
Darren
That's
Waller, baby.
Terry.
Darren
Panthers.
Waller, baby.
Chuba
I
Hubbard,
got
baby.
Dolphins. I got the
He's out.
Dolphins on this one.
No, he's not.
I
He's
and
literally out.
No, he's not.
but
It's questionable.
all right, all
Who's
right.
your source?
Let's settle down. Let's settle down.
Who's your
We got
source?
Yeah, let's keep this going, man. I'm trying to stall the show.
Broncos or Eagles. I think everyone's gonna pick the Eagles here. I got Eagles.
I got Broncos.
Of course
All
he does.
right, fucking OVO.
Broncos country, baby.
Let's
I
ride.
got
That's
Eagles.
right.
Okay. It's all right. Texans and Ravens. Who do we got?
That's a tough one. Lamar
Matt, you
not
go
being in
first.
there.
Hey, like your buddy Joel said, hey, top 3, and he ain't 2 or 3, so that means he's number 1. So I think you should have picked the Ravens, no brainer, right?
Nah, I'm picking the Texans this week.
That's crazy.
I had them last week. I'm gonna pick them this week.
Okay, Ernie,
Interesting.
Hearn, dude, who do you have?
I got the Ravens. I think
Yeah,
Cooper Rush
let's.
is gonna take care of the football, and I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I got the Ravens too. Texans, not it for me. Cardinals and Titans. I got the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Maddie.
Cardinals.
Okay. This one's gonna be interesting. I want to talk about this one. The Bucks in Seattle. I got the Bucks. Wait. Is fucking Mike Evans back yet?
No, and they don't have
I
I
got
Bucky
think
or
Seattle.
Chris.
Yeah, I got Seattle.
That's
Sorry.
true.
I got Seattle.
yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning. I do like Rashad White though, but fuck. And Godwin's for sure playing.
I mean, they
Uh,
still
It's gonna be a
played
close game. It's gonna be a
decent
close
against the
game.
Eagles. I'm going
it's gonna be
Bucks.
battle of the uniforms too. So fuck.
Ooh, fuck me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Seahawks.
Yeah. I like
Tampa.
the throwbacks. I like both those throwback uniforms that they wear.
Yeah.
Shit's fucking fire.
Yeah,
Lions and Bengals. I got the Lions. I think that's a no-brainer.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Commanders and Chargers.
Jaden's
Ernie, let's
back.
go with you. Jaden is back. Ernie, who do you got?
Commanders.
Matt, I need some more time to think about
Where are they
this.
playing at?
I think they're playing at SoFi.
Yeah, it doesn't really
I got the
matter.
Chargers. I got
Chargers.
the Chargers.
I'm
I
gonna
got
go
the Chargers.
Chargers.
Fair
Yeah, I got
enough.
the Chargers.
That's a coin flip. That's a coin flip game. You can argue, so I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a battle of the quarterbacks, to be honest.
Yeah, we can talk about that one later.
Okay. Patriots and Bills.
Bills. MVP Josh Allen.
Yeah, I need that motherfucker to go off, man. So I got the Bills too.
I'm
Herney?
gonna go Patriots.
Oh, you fucking
He's trying to
scumbag.
do a man last week, Patriots. Bills, buddy.
Okay. Last one
Fuck.
is the Chiefs and Jags. I got the Jags. I think I read their defense. Obviously, what they did to the Niners was actually impressive. I mean, but again, he had a hurt. No excuse for Brock Purdy, but he was hurt. But he was throwing those picks, and obviously they capitalized on every. Their special teams is good. Defense is pretty solid. Trevor Lawrence just needs to continue to do what he needs to do to win that game. Chiefs are still trying to find their groove, so
That's in
I got the
KC, no?
Jags.
Is that in KC?
Let me see.
I feel like it would be since it's Monday night.
No, it is at the Jags.
Oh, fuck. All right, yeah, this game's
So-
close as March.
I got the Jags, man. I think they can really be one of those upset games.
Damn it.
Okay. Herney, who do you got?
I really want to just keep my Rigo flow going and just pick a bunch of bullshit teams, but
Well, I hope you don't go 6-6.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna say the Chiefs, just because I still trust Mahomes over Trevor Lawrence. So I'll go the Chiefs.
Okay, you're not wrong for that. But that concludes our picks of the week. Let's revisit some of these games that we have more fucking topics about.
Yeah.
I think a game that I want to talk about more in depth would be Tampa and Seattle game. Tampa and Seattle.
Is that Sunday night?
No, it's a regular.
Not prime time?
It's not prime time. Unfortunately, right? The game.
That'd be a
I
good
thought
one.
it was. Let's talk about it, fellas. Fucking, how do we think Gino is gonna? Not Gino. My bad. Damn. I'm looking at the Raiders logo.
I wish he was back on that, dude. Damn.
How do we think Sam Darnold's gonna
man?
do? Yeah. How do we think he's gonna do?
I think he's gonna get tested for sure. Like the Bucks. I don't know who Seattle's played, but I would assume Tampa's probably one of the better defenses they've faced so far this year. But I really think if the run game's going, I think he should be fine. He's got good weapons around him.
Yeah.
I think the story of the game is going to be more about the Bucks offense and how that's going to look without their best player or two of their best players, which is Bucky Irving and Mike Evans. And then Baker's also he had a bunch of injury designations this week. They took him off the injury report today, but obviously if he was hurt the first couple days, usually means he's hurt. So that should be really interesting too.
I think they do get a healthier Fish Darwin though. He's gonna play more.
Yeah. I'm excited to see these fucking icicle uniforms, man. Honestly, that's probably the most exciting thing I'm ready for. Me personally, Baker's that dude. He reminds me of a better version of Johnny Manziel. That attitude, man. Dude, what's up, bro? What happened?
That's like two.
My
That's
bad.
like two different like play styles, but I see what you're getting at though.
I think it's just the swagger.
I know
they
you're
got,
talking about the swag. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game's gonna be really interesting. It should be a really fun one. I think that would have been better than Bills Patriots, but I think because of the Bills unis, that's why that one's Sunday night.
I think that game would be pretty good. I don't see it being a blowout.
Bills Pats.
Yeah.
It's I want to revisit something that Hern mentioned. Hern
Oh no.
said earlier with the Jets, their head coach. Why do you think the hot seat? Why do you feel like his seat's warming up? Give me your reason. I mean, obviously this is his first year, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say because of the Jets, their expectations wasn't that crazy high, but I feel like it was a lot more exciting this year for some reason, right? Because you got Justin Fields and new defensive coordinator, head coach, and I think we talked about it in our first pod is like why we think defensive coordinators are not really that great when it comes to being head coaches. Obviously,
Yeah.
we have many examples of why that doesn't really work. But why do you think Aaron Glenn is fucking on the hot seat so far, or his seat's warming
Uh,
up?
I think the seat's warming up. I think there's a couple things. Number one is like just football, like specifically just football. Like, not I don't want to call it knowledge, but football. Shit, what's the word I'm looking for? Like football IQ wise, like you know how like when someone talks about basketball and they talk about floor IQ, and it's usually
Mm-hmm.
like what to do with the ball and stuff like that. As a coach, like you're kind of when you're brought up in coaching, you're kind of taught the basics. And like one of the things that sticks out to me, like last week, this past Monday night, like when you're talking about like this, we're talking about special teams. When you're teaching someone to punt return, you always tell them, hey, you're like the furthest you're gonna go back is the 10-yard line. Your heels are at the 10-yard line. If the ball gets kicked past that, you don't move. Like you don't back up for it. And last couple weeks, that's happened. Like that's kind of a basic special teams um like knowledge of the game. But like and then you go to like he was a DC, right?
Yeah.
His side of the ball looks fucking horrible. And it's not because they don't have players over there. They got plenty of guys over there that I think on other teams would be starters and they're fucking legit players. Like he's got Jermaine Johnson, he's got Quinnen Williams, he's got who's the other
Sauce
dude?
Gardner.
He's got Sauce. Like he's got dudes over there, and your defense isn't really fucking stopping anything. Um,
Yeah.
so I just think like those things all are kind of gonna start adding up. I do think the Jets specific because it is the Jets. I think they're gonna give him a bigger leash. But if this was a different team, like I think it wouldn't be as crazy for me to say his seat was getting warm.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Again, like I'm gonna reiterate it. It's like I don't like defensive coaches becoming head coaches because I think
Yeah,
that is a big issue. Obviously, they're a defensive coordinator for a reason. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say his seat is crazy warm, but like you do bring up a good point that like obviously if you can't do basic head coach stuff, again, but I also feel like it has to do with coaching, his coaching staff, right? So I think
yeah,
if he was going to be one of those guys, he's going to be like, hey, dude, like it's not just me, it's these guys I put in charge. But I feel like if he finishes the season like what 1-17 or even just not win a game,
yeah,
um, they're gonna. I'm sure he'll draft a quarterback because obviously that means he either it does have no more faith in Justin Fields and he's not performing, or they're just completely getting blown out on the defensive side, which would be crazy. Wow, zero. So yeah, I feel like if they go under like not undefeated, but don't win a single game this year, and something like that happens towards the end of next year too, or not the end of next year, but next year, and they still can't win ball games, I think he gets replaced. I think he has a 2-year leash, 2 years, and then he's done.
yeah.
If he
I
can't win.
agree. I can't imagine him getting fired this year. Like unless it was like you're saying, like they literally go 1-16 or whatever it would be. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't see him being fired based on just wins and losses, but I just feel like with the wins and losses, and then some of the stuff I'm talking about, like I feel like it might be enough for them to be like, yeah, like this didn't work. But
Yeah.
Matt,
What Hearn said.
All right, Mr. Google
fair enough.
himself. All
What
right.
Hearn
Fair
said.
enough. Well,
But
actually,
speaking
since
about
we're
like
since we are talking about like coaches on,
people,
uh, I'll
okay,
just say,
I
is there
think
any other
you knew what.
coaches? Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Mike
15
McDaniel's.
years right here, big dog. 15 years. We're on
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I
Let's
was
talk
just saying,
about
is
the
there any
Dolphins
other
head
coaches?
coach.
I
Dolphins
mean,
head coach, man. Ow, zero. Fucking stop, bro.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
Mike
Dog
McDaniel
is
saved
fucking
his
trained.
ass. Yeah, for real. Saved his ass
Jesus.
by winning that game. I told my father-in-law, I was like, if the Dolphins lose this game tonight, that's his ass. He's done. The public announcement will be made fucking Monday morning, and he's fired. But unfortunately, for Dolphin fans, they actually won that game. And I say unfortunately because a lot from what I've seen in interactions with a lot of Dolphin fans, they're tired of Tua and they're tired of their head coach, um, and they're like, yo, we need somebody new. So that's my opinion. I think if he wins again, I think he saved his ass until the end of the season before he gets fired. I think regardless whether he has a winning season this year or not, this is his last season as a head coach with the Dolphins.
I think if they make the playoffs, I think that's the only way, right? Like if they make the playoffs, he
Yeah,
win. Yeah, that makes
I just
sense.
don't see it though. You just lost Tyreek, and Tua is not that great as far as like
Yeah,
distributing the ball. And I don't know. I think that they're next up against the wall, and
yeah.
I don't really have that much faith in Tua, even though Tua was my top 10 quarterback ending into the season. Um, I don't know what the fuck happened this year. I think he just lost so much confidence, and um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was really that locked in this year. So um, he'll find his way on a different team as a fucking probably find his way to the Colts. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know the Colts love recycling.
I was thinking the Raiders did.
Think so? Pete Carroll?
No, I hope fucking hope not, but you never know, bro.
Yeah, I
Never
think he
fucking
finds his
know.
way to the Colts. You know the Colts love recycling quarterbacks. Doesn't matter who
I
it is.
think I think another coach that potentially could be on the hot seat, depending on how the year goes. Well, I have two of them, and they're both probably hot
Okay.
takes. Um, One of them, D'Amico Ryans, I think he has potentially could be on the hot seat, and it really wouldn't be because of him himself. I think it'd be his lack of being able to hire a competent offensive coordinator. I do
Okay.
know, like obviously they do have injuries on that side of the ball, but they have like good running backs, and they have good running backs. They have enough at receiver, and then they have a decent tight end. So like, there's not like, and obviously we knew they traded a bunch of their O line away, so there was a reason why you probably did that, and then you failed to boost that part of your team. So I feel like if the wins and losses don't check out, he could be somebody that's on the hot seat, or could be potentially let go. But
Yeah, honestly,
that's
that's
definitely a
probably
hot take, right?
yeah, that's someone I didn't even really think about, to be quite honest. And
Yeah,
I think I think a lot of people would say like, yeah, that's a hot take just because like, when
yeah,
D'Amico became a head coach, he was already winning. But that's because he had
yeah, yeah,
CJ
yeah.
Stroud. No one had film on him. And like we said earlier in the a couple of pods ago. All right, go ahead, Buster.
Fuck, what now?
I got a little emergency.
What's up, buddy?
I got a little emergency. I gotta dip out real quick.
All right, man. We'll be on here. We appreciate you coming on the pod for the time we had you. Go handle your stuff, man.
I don't know. I'll text you in 10 minutes. Meet me downtown.
But yeah,
Shout out, Matty Ice, Chick-fil-A lover. Uh,
yeah.
but damn it, there was one more I was gonna say too. Not the Saints. Well, maybe the Saints, but I feel like we all kind of know that team was already like, oh, Titans. Fucking Callahan. He's an offensive guy. You got Cam Ward, and when your rookie quarterback's coming up to the podium and saying, "Hey, this team's ass," that's not a good sign as a head coach. To me, that's like a pretty much like a warning that your job is fucking in jeopardy. If the QB you picked was like, "Hey, this team's ass," that's not good. So they
Yeah.
definitely believe he's definitely firmly on the hot seat because he's been there. I think almost. I think this is his second year. So,
I
and
just
I
think
don't
the
think you're gonna
Titans
want to
just
waste
can't
another
figure
year
it
of Cam
out.
Ward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Titans, I
well,
don't
that's the other
know.
thing too. Like, that organization since they got rid of Vrabel has just been a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's one of those teams that you just
Like
zero.
they got rid of the GM. They hired a GM that Vrabel didn't want. They fire Vrabel. Then they hire I think they hired Callahan. Then they get rid of that GM. Callahan stays. They hire another GM, and then so it's just one of those things. Like and then the results on the field are terrible. And like I said, I don't think as a franchise you don't want to waste too many years of your rookie quarterback's contract. So I definitely could see. I think that's a team they could lose their head coach middle of the season for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. Again, these are some teams that I haven't even thought of. Obviously, I just think about the
Like I
basics.
said, I know for sure the Texans one is a fucking crazy hot take because
I
for the most
actually
part,
like it.
D'Amico's won, but I just feel like because this is gonna be 2 years in a row, if they don't do anything, like it's at some point you got to start looking at the head coach for the lack of offense, especially even though he's a defensive guy, I get it. But his job's to build the staff, and if you're building two bad offensive staffs in a row, it's not a good look.
Yeah. I was trying to think. I had another one in mind too. Kevin Stefanski with the Cleveland Browns.
That's another it's a tough one because you knew what you're getting into with the quarterback. Obviously, that's the other thing. It's like we don't know what their plan is with Deshaun. I think most people are assuming he's going to get cut. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know what the agreement was with the team. Like, hey, we're going to give you this free year. Do whatever you want. Just keep building the team. Or I'm sure that's not what Myles Garrett wants to hear. So they're in a really interesting spot.
Yeah, I would say I picked Kevin Stefanski just because, like, obviously, not just because the record. I would say because if
Yeah.
he managed to fuck up the quarterback situation, I mean, as far as like you have Joe Flacco, um, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador Sanders. If you manage to like fuck that up somehow, as far as mismanaging them, I think that's one of those things where it's like, okay, like this guy needs to get the fuck out of here because he's obviously just drafting guys for no fucking reason. Especially when you draft two rookie quarterbacks, um, and stuff like that. Like you kind of put yourself in a situation where obviously all eyes are on you, especially that franchise and that whole organization. Their fan base is like one of those dudes that just don't fuck around. Um, so I think if he mismanages those quarterbacks and they lose out with Dylan Gabriel being a bust as far as the way he calls plays and stuff, I think he gets fired. Um, so I think that would be my hot take, even though like a lot of people would be like, oh no, like he has some wiggle room. But again, that's my hot take is head coach is getting fired this season. Not this season, but obviously if they lose and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's definitely on the scale. I think, like I said, I think it just depends on how you view the situation. If you think that the Browns told him, hey, like we don't care how this year goes, just build us a winner next year, then yeah, it's a hot take. But if you're, you know, just under normal guidelines, like hey, we need you to be competitive and stuff like that, and they have been competitive. I'll give them that. It's not like they've been getting crazy blown out. I think the worst loss was the Lions game. So I mean, they're not getting
It's just that
hosed like they
defense,
beat.
man.
I mean, they beat the Packers, like then they played tight with most of these other games. So yeah, it is their defense. So shout out to Cleveland, man.
Yeah, man. Sleeper.
Sleeper.
Um, let's get into some QB controversy.
Ooh, let's do it.
And
I love
the
QBs.
one I want to, yeah, the one I want to talk about is the Vikings. Arguably, obviously, this is JJ's first year coming off his ACL tear last year, and Sam Darnold having that like great season that he took him to the
Yeah.
playoffs and nobody expected that, which was really cool for him. That's why he got a big contract with Seattle.
Mhm.
But again, he got hurt this season, and then now you're relying on Carson Wentz to win in some ball games. So a lot of people are arguing should have the Vikings got rid of Sam Darnold and should have just left JJ benched. I think that's a tough one just because obviously you drafted this guy like number one with your first pick and you want to see him ball out. But from what we've seen from JJ was that he looked lost, didn't have no command of the offense. He couldn't really get significant drives going. And he just looked like he was struggling out there after sitting for a year. Again, I understand that you need those live reps, but at the same time, it's like, you're picked number one overall, and you're like struggling with such a great offensive weapons. And for me, I don't think there was an excuse besides him being a rookie. But even then, you see other rookies ball out with less.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of fucked up by getting rid of Sam Darnold and having him start. But that's just my take. What do you think?
I just think it's still a little too early to have a definitive answer. I think as of today, yeah, I think it'd be pretty safe to say they should have stuck with Sam Darnold and traded JJ. But I mean, I I always thought, and for people that don't know, I'm a big Michigan guy. People asked when he came out, what do I think of him? I wouldn't have touched him in the first round. I didn't think he was that great of a quarterback. But in the right system, I think, like, to me, like, and the Vikings are one of those systems I thought he'd fit really well because they do like to run the football, and they're not
Mm-hmm.
trying to take big, deep shots down the field. They like to use play action and kind of play West Coast style. So I thought that was a fit. So, but yeah, I think as of today, yeah, I think you'd be kind of foolish to be like, oh no, they should have just did exactly what they did. Um, but I still do think he deserves a little bit more of a leash. Um, do you think when he comes back, like let's say when he's fully healthy, do you think they're gonna just let him come back and play, or do you think like Carson's gonna keep starting until
I
he's
think
set?
they no, I think he'll come back and play. I
Yeah.
just, again, like what I'm saying, I think if they come back and he struggles and obviously they lose 2 games in a row, I think he gets benched. And then that's what the QB controversy would really, really like, stir up
Yeah.
more than what it is now.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I'm going back to the part is like you have an established offense. You got a good
Yeah.
offensive coordinator. You got a good head coach that can dial plays up. Obviously, we've seen it with Sam Darnold, right? Um, so for me, it would be hard to even give excuses for him, even though he's a rookie or whatever. It's like, yeah, he's still getting used to it, but like, dude, you have weapons out there. You know what I mean?
Oh
Just
yeah,
like
that's
for
what
me,
I mean.
I
You
can
gotta
go
shit or
back
get
to
off the pot. So
yeah.
I totally agree.
So that's where those for me is where it's at. So, but unless he comes out and they really simplify the game where it's like, hey, dude, we're gonna run it fucking 80% of the time with
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, and we're gonna throw quick little underpasses and stuff like that, and that's how we're gonna win. Then I get it, like that's how you're gonna win. But
I mean, that's
um,
how he won it. That's how he won a national title. So it's like there's already a blueprint on how you can maximize him as a player. It's already
yeah,
out there. So it's not like they'd have no idea how to make it work. I do think too, like one of the reasons why I think they didn't bring Sam back, I think they saw, hey, I think after that playoff loss, I think they saw this is the ceiling. Like we don't think it's gonna get any better than this. And
yeah,
obviously he pissed down his leg at that game. And I think that was kind of another thing too, is like, hey, we got to the dance and he fucking didn't show up.
yeah. But wouldn't you say that when they had Kirk Cousins too, though, and they stuck with Kirk Cousins for a while?
I mean, I don't think Kirk Cousins ever performed that bad though. Like it was not a like it was a
You cut out, man. I
miserable
couldn't
game.
hear
I don't
you.
even think he got over 200 yards throwing. What?
Uh, yeah. It's one of those things for me, I guess. Let's talk another one. Obviously, let's talk about my Niners, right? With Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. Um, the controversy that's going on now. Obviously, Mac Jones is one of 3 games, so shout out to him. He's doing what he's supposed to do as a backup when the first string quarterback gets hurt. Supposed to continue to win.
Yeah.
But again, this is gonna go back to fucking when we took Trey Lance in fucking 2022, 23, some shit like that. Fuck, I
Yeah.
forget what year we took him. But the Niners, obviously, it was reported Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. We didn't take Mac Jones. We took Trey Lance. And now that after, years later, we finally have Mac Jones. And people are saying, like, oh, this is what it should have been. We would have won Super Bowls and all this bullshit. And Brock Purdy's done or whatever. But I think quite the opposite, actually. I like Brock Purdy more um, than Mac Jones, just because he's mobile and he still can deliver that. Again, he's hurt, but I think the only thing that Mac Jones really has on him is that Mac Jones is winning with no weapons. So I mean, that's a fucking
That's
plus
huge,
that Mac
right?
Jones. Yeah, I think that's huge. So I think that's where the controversy is coming from.
Yeah, I think if you told me, hey, you're gonna start a team and these are the two quarterbacks, which one do you want? I definitely agree. I think Purdy's the guy. But I mean, I think the number of injuries he's had, and obviously, I'm not gonna count the original injury and then this one as two different ones. It's obviously the same thing. He probably just re-aggravated it uh, in that Jags game, and I do think there is somewhat of a controversy, but I think it's kind of similar to the Russell Wilson situation last year. If you remember, he left. I think he was out. I think he got hurt like week 3, and they went Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Russ was healthy, he went right back in. So I think there is some similar elements to that. But it'll be kind of interesting. I guess they got their game out of the way, so now they're gonna have like 8-9 days to recover and see what's gonna happen next. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think people are. I think it's another thing too. Like Niners are one of those big franchises in the NFL, and they really rarely have controversies like this. So I think that's also part of it. Like people are going to try to make it a little bit bigger of a thing than it should be.
Yeah. I agree. I think, like I said, I think the only thing Mac Jones has on him is obviously he's won 3 when he needed to. He's done it while being hurt, and he's done it with no
Yeah,
weapons out there. So I think that's really, really huge. Just because obviously Brock Purdy struggles to win ball games, and I think his record without his starters is like 0 wins or 1 or 2. Um,
I
so
will say for Mac Jones though, like he has a huge rapport with Kendrick Bourne. Like I know that's not the only guy he was throwing to
yeah,
yesterday, but I think that relationship can't be understated. Like those guys played,
yeah,
I think 3 years together in New England, so it's not like he's never thrown the ball to the guy. So he understands kind of how he is as a player. I think that kind of helps him out too. But regardless, you are right. Like there's a huge difference in getting a win with Ricky Pearsall and Kittle and McCaffrey and all these other dudes versus getting a win with the guys he had yesterday, Robinson and Tongus and all those dudes.
yeah,
So but
yeah.
shout out to
So
McCaffrey too, man. Like he's carrying the boats.
dude, still can't get a rushing touchdown though.
That's so
but
tough. Like
but it's
it's
crazy,
crazy
right?
too. Like you have him in a PPR league, like he gets you like 30 points and he has no tutties. Or no rushing touchdowns, I should say. I think he's had
Yeah.
a few receiving ones, but also like you guys
Uh,
have had injuries to the O line too, right?
I think we had like 1 or 2. It's just like the O line, like our run, our fucking, we just cannot run the ball, dude. Like it's just bad.
Yeah, sounds like the Raiders.
Um, do you have another quarterback you want to talk about?
Oh, I mean, hey, you talked about your team. I could talk about mine real quick.
Yeah,
Geno Smith. Um, fuck. Like, I mean, that's all that could be really said. Like, he's obviously not performing how he did in Seattle. But I don't
clearly,
think.
I think I called that. I called it right
Yeah,
away. I
you
was
did.
like,
No,
dude,
you definitely did. Uh, and that kind of fits how the Raiders have always been. Um, they get a guy that's, hey, this guy played really well. Let's bring him on board. If we bring him on board, he's shit. So that's nothing new. That Bears loss really fucking sucked. Like I said on the show, I'll never pick the Raiders. and I'll sacrifice my pick record. Like I have no issue doing that. To lose the way they did really sucked. Like our left tackle got hurt in the last drive, ended up like high ankle sprain and a hairline fracture, so he's pretty much done. Genti had a coming out party. He had a rushing touchdown, 2 receiving touchdowns. He looked really good.
He did.
So it kind of sucks. Like there was a lot of good things about the game. The Raiders defense, the Bears had the ball on the Raiders side of the field like 5 times to start the drive, and I think they only came away with 6 points on those drives. Like I mean, everyone came to play but Gino, and there was I think only I mean, and that sucks. Like that sucks as any fan, any team, any fandom, and when everyone plays well but your quarterback, especially in football, that really sucks because that usually means you didn't win the football game. Even though we did have an opportunity to win the game late, and we had a field goal block, which sucks. But I've been seeing a lot of Raider fans talk about benching Geno Smith for Kenny Pickett.
No, absolutely
Those
not.
people are fucking crazy. If we
Yeah.
do that, I'm out. Like I'm done with the Raiders for the year. Like I think that's so dumb. It's not even funny. Like because it's two completely different quarterback styles. Like Kenny Pickett doesn't have the arm Geno has, and I'm all about like the gamble. I'm all about the deep ball. So if we did,
That's one thing I do like about Gino. He's not afraid to sling the ball. However, it's one of those things of him being able to take care of the ball and deliver it to the
yeah,
guys that he needs to. And I think that's one of his biggest issues. Because I mean, obviously, we would be having a different conversation if he's slinging the ball and he's making those deep passes and completing all his throws and all that stuff, right? And because that
yeah,
means obviously you guys would be winning games. But I think obviously it's a different culture. The Raiders are obviously their own mystique culture. Their coaching
uh,
staff is completely different and everything like that, right? So I think hopefully this year, I mean, I don't know what the quarterback class looks like, but hopefully you guys can snag somebody, dude, or you're gonna have to trade because
oh, I
Gino.
think that I think that's gonna be that's the life of a Raider fan is you're always good enough that you're not gonna pick top 2, top 3, but you're always bad enough you'll never pick. Uh, wait, you're not good enough. Oh no, and you're too good where you're not picking in in an ideal spot. Like you're always just outside looking in. Like the year you're really shitty, there's 3 other teams that are really shitty, so you end up with the 5th pick, and then there's years where you're like fuck, and you're just on the outside looking in, which sucks. But
Yeah, trade you Mac 10.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but he probably turned into a shitty QB again. So, like I said,
Yeah,
I just think that's the Raiders thing. Like I remember, um, I don't know, I don't remember the year, but we signed Dante Culpepper, played with the Dolphins, had a fucking great year with them, and then before that, he played with the Vikings, and he was a fucking stud there. Raiders signed him. He was fucking shit. Like his whole tenure there. Granted, this was like mid 2000s Raiders, so like that team was shit all across the board. Um, but it just seems. I mean, look at Jimmy G. We signed Jimmy G. He was pretty serviceable with the Niners. Like he obviously led them to the playoffs, led them to Super Bowls. He comes to us, shitty, fucking horrible.
I
I
just
mean,
don't
I
know
could
what it
keep
is,
going.
man.
Garden Minshew. He was a decent. He had a really good year with the Colts. We bring him on board. He sucks. Like it's just something about the Raiders, man. Like I think it's one of those things. Like you got to be drafted. I think it's the quarterback spot. We got to draft it, or we got to get like this obscure guy, no one's heard of, or been a backup his whole career, and
Yeah,
that's when they light it up. Like Rich Gannon, he was a backup most of his career. He comes on board, takes us to the Super Bowl, wins an MVP. I mean, I can keep going down the list, but
nah, you're
um,
good. You're good, man. I
I
think
mean,
we.
hey, I keep going on another 30 minutes about the Raiders, but I think one other QB, I don't want to call it controversy because it's not. Um, but we got to talk about your Browns again, Shador. I think people are kind of making a big fuss about, and all this is unconfirmed, but there was that story about he had a call with the Ravens and told him don't pick him. I don't want to start, or I don't want to be behind Lamar. Uh, and then obviously now Lamar's hurt, and people are talking about it like, oh, you could have been starting. Like Lamar got hurt, you could have been a starter. But
Yeah, I
I think
think.
some of these people, I think it's not really true because they signed Cooper Rush before the draft, and so obviously he was signed to be the backup.
Yeah.
So I think even if he was with the Ravens, he'd still be. I mean, I guess in this case he'd be the second. He'd be the second string guy. But I don't think it would have changed a whole lot.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to it, but I also don't really think it's the full truth. Obviously, you know how the social media and critics
Yeah.
and journalists always be like look for any story to exploit. So I
Yeah.
don't really think that's exactly his words.
Hmm.
But I also don't think Shador would have been starting with the Ravens. Um,
At all, like at any point.
yeah,
So like I think the idea of him having that mindset, I think that's correct. But I don't know if I would have like audibly told a potential employer like, "Oh, hey, by the way, don't
yeah,
pick me because I don't think I'm ever going to start for you." Um,
yeah,
because he would have had opportunities to play. For sure the preseason he would have played. Uh, and then at some point because it is Lamar and maybe they don't trust the backup, then yeah, he could have played and then he could have turned that into a way for him to get traded to a team and be a starter down the road. But
yeah,
yeah,
100%.
I just think it's really interesting with that.
Fair. It is what it is now. Now he's on the Cleveland Browns as a third string QB,
Yeah,
potentially a second
I
string.
feel like I feel like next week maybe I think we gotta revisit because it'll be week 6, right?
Yeah,
Or week 7,
I think it's week
6.
6. Yeah.
I think next week maybe we should revisit our QBs, our top 10, make another list.
Yeah,
Just kind of
I think we need.
see how much it changed from like basically our preseason to now. I think
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
yeah. But hey, man, that's all I got for today. Hearn,
Yes,
is there any
sir.
last minute hot takes or anything you want to say to the people before we head out?
No, actually I think there's something going on this weekend. Fuck. I guess it's not that important, but um I do want to say shout out college football. Um if you ever want to see like actual football and like actual different talent levels, I think that's the best football you can watch. Obviously, like you look at the NFL and all the teams, I think for the most part they're all evenly talent wise. Like obviously there are some teams that it's like, oh man, it's a tough watch.
Yeah,
But like it's really cool to see like the different offenses and defenses all these teams across the country run, and you got all these big games, big storylines. But yeah, I think like this weekend we got University of Miami, the U. They're playing in Florida. Should be a really good game. That matchup. But no, yeah, that's all I really got. I mean, shout out to everybody watching, subscribed, like it. And yeah.
yeah. I got nothing today. Um, nothing too exciting. Just really focusing on my move, trying to find a house. Um,
Yeah.
but God's good, and we appreciate everybody watching, taking the time to listen to us, and comment. Um, again, I will always say it at the end of the pod. If anybody ever has something to say, or want to say something or comment or whatever, or go against what I got to say, or Hearn or Matt, uh, and we'd
Yeah.
be more than happy to have you guys on the pod and speak your mind. Uh, Again, we love when people have something else to say and go against us because it's something more to talk about. So we encourage that, and we appreciate everything that you guys do, taking the time, listening to us, watching us on YouTube, TikTok, or Spotify. I'm trying to get on Apple Music, but still trying to figure that one out. So thank you everybody for listening. It's your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and Mr. Herney. But that's us signing off. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Later, boys.